Yes, you are on the generator with me, Geoff Ebbs, and our wonderful, sharp and intelligent panel, who you'll meet in just a moment. This episode of The Generator is running as part of the Sustainable Living Festival, so welcome to all you sustainable livers. The star of this episode is my new book for Australian Geographic, so welcome all you adventurers. And the name of the book is Your Life, Your Planet, which you can find out more about at yourlifeyourplanet.com. The book's primary focus is to get to the truth about greenhouse gas emissions, always a great conversation killer, so we'll kick off with an introduction by a very special guest. So special, we've not invited him or even asked him. We've just stolen his very own introduction to his very own Boyer lectures, which are running now on our very own ABC.
This year's Boyer lecturer is the leading Australian businessman Dr. Geoff Forrest AO.
I have a confession to make. The iron ore company I founded 18 years ago, Fortescue, generates just over 2 million tonnes of greenhouse gas every year. 2 million tonnes. That's more than the entire emissions of Bhutan and its 800,000 inhabitants. It's a huge number. Yet it's also just 0.004% of the greenhouse gas that enters the atmosphere every year, of around 51 billion tonnes.
Yes, it's complicated. So complicated, it's tempting to go into denial.
Now some politicians want to label carbon dioxide a pollutant. Imagine if they succeed. What would our lives be like then? Carbon dioxide. They call it pollution. We call it life.
Well, not all politicians.
This is coal. Don't be afraid. Don't be
Treasurer,
scared.
the Treasurer knows the rule on crops.
It's coal.
Now, you don't have to convince me that the climate's not changing. It is changing. And the other thing is I think we've got to acknowledge is, there's a higher authority that's beyond our comprehension and right up there in the sky.
Yes, well, weird stuff does happen in the sky. Personally, I prefer to nut out the complexity and then make it really simple. The personal carbon target is used throughout Your Life, Your Planet to show your personal emissions compared to people in other parts of the world. Oil-rich nations pump out greenhouse gas, building artificial ski slopes in the middle of the desert. Australia and the US are not much better. And to meet our Paris commitments, we have to remove enough emissions to get down to this line, the target, closer to the average Tongan. Now that's pretty tough, even if you follow every tip in Your Life, Your Planet.
The answer isn't to stop mining iron ore, which is critical to the production of steel, to humanity. The answer is green, zero emissions energy and steel.
And that makes a bigger difference than many of the tips that you might try at home.